4 prison escapees, 2 of them convicted of murder, are still on the run, possibly in Oklahoma. The Texas convicts are said to have left jail clothes at a burglarized home in southern Oklahoma, where they apparently slept and ate. The fugitives overpowered a jail guard Monday night and have been at large for 6 days. From Houston, the home of Enron, and aftershock all the way to Oregon. Utility customers are feeling the effects of the collapse of the energy giant. ABC's Judy Muller explains.
Add Oregonians to the list of those who find themselves caught up in the Enron mess. Enron owns Portland General Electric. In an effort to raise $1.5 billion in cash, Enron plans to sell PGE to another Oregon utility, Northwest Natural Gas, which is getting the money through a bank loan.
The problem is Enron wants cash, not stock. And when you borrow money, when you leverage this kind of deal, somebody has to pay for that. And the only people to pay for it are the ratepayers of Oregon.
Electric rates in the Portland area are among the highest in the nation. Consumer groups charge that the sale of PGE saddles customers with so much debt that their rates will remain high for years. But the president of Northwest Natural Gas says the merger will result in a more efficient operation.
We'd like to see the debt paid down just as quickly as possible. We also, in the package, have about $31.5 million worth of rate credits that would go to the customers in the first 6 years.
At the same time, he concedes that Enron's bankruptcy complicates things.
I think the bankruptcy court has to assure us that Enron can perform on their end of the contract. I'm confident they can do that.
The consumer groups think the current deal puts customers last after shareholders and PGE executives, who are guaranteed bonuses under the deal. PGE Vice President Pam Lesh says bonuses are a standard method used to keep managers from leaving.
We've been in the process of this about 3 years, and you would hate to lose your key people while you were in the middle of that.
Although consumer groups and utility executives differ on how long customers will have to wait for the benefits of the merger, they all agree on one thing. Few in Oregon are likely to miss Enron. Judy Muller, ABC News.
Former Vice President Al Gore is resurfacing on the political scene. At a speech this weekend to Democrats in Nashville, Gore criticized Bush administration policies on the economy and the environment. Supporters say it looks like the former vice president may be laying the groundwork for a presidential run in 2004. Tomorrow, President Bush will formally present his budget proposal for fiscal year 2003. Part of the proposal has special significance for 40 million Americans over age 65. They are only 12% of the population, but pay for 40% of all prescription drug sales. From her meager income, 90-year-old Lily Maria Struken has to spend at least $50 a month on medications for her heart and high blood pressure.
Last week, I didn't buy any groceries.
Millions of older Americans who don't have other insurance and are not poor enough to qualify for Medicaid can't pay for the prescription drugs they need.
There was a time when I had $45 left in my checking account until I got my Social Security.
Last week, President Bush, in his State of the Union address, demonstrated his concern by promising
to give seniors a sound and modern Medicare system that includes coverage for prescription drugs.
The president has proposed a plan which would give $8 billion a year to the states to help pay the prescription drug costs of about 3 million low-income seniors. It's a campaign promise he made.
We will not wait to help seniors afford prescription drugs. We will give them direct aid now by expanding and funding state assistance programs.
Under the Bush proposal, the federal government will pay 90% of the cost of the prescription drugs.
In the way he structured it or suggesting it, it will cover less than 10% of the seniors. And it won't cover them in many states because it requires the states to come up with some money, and they're all broke.
Congressman Pete Stark, as well as some Republican lawmakers, say the Bush administration needs to spend hundreds of billions of dollars to attack the problem.
You have 40 million Americans who desperately need pharmaceutical drugs, and you just give them a back of your hand slap. It's awful.
A recent ABC News poll found that more than a third of all seniors believe prescription drugs should be given top priority. Some are already gearing up for what will be a tough budget battle in Congress and in state legislatures.
This is an issue that spans the population, and we think this is going to be one of the hottest issues in the campaign if Congress does not act this year.
Seniors are among the most reliable voters. Only 12% of the population. They cast 23% of the votes in the last midterm election.
Do you vote? Oh, yes, of course I do. Yes.
Members of Congress are expected to keep an eye on that senior citizen vote when the measure comes before them later this year. Up next, the war inside Afghanistan you may not know about.